Welcome back to UKSM. We're going to be kicking off into the next run. Spyro 1 remastered. Any percent by Nost. Before I do that, remember, special effect is what we're trying to raise money for. We've not mentioned it all today because it's just been so hectic here. Please, if you can donate, it would be wonderful if you could, especially after how just insane it's been today. I feel like we need to raise some money now that we're back on track. Right, I'm going to throw you over to Nost. He's going to give me a countdown, and we're going to get this party started.
Yep, brilliant. So, welcome everyone to Spyro Reignited Trilogy Spyro 1. My name is Nost. Here on my couch I have Reku here, Super Monkey Ball speedrunner. I've got Tyzera, who's a Spyro 2 speedrunner. I've got Natty, who did CTR earlier. And I've got Ewan, who is a Reignited Trilogy moderator. And also awesome Spyro speedrunner. Please go check them out. Where's Zargate gone? Oh, and there's Zargate at the back. Right, anyway. So, I'm pretty much ready to start. So, right, I'm ready. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, everyone. So, Reignited Trilogy, if the first thing to say, sadly, is just a massive load hoarder of a game. Half of it is pretty much sadly load times because of the console we have. But it is mainly down to endurance and speed of play. There is hardly much glitches, just fast purple dragon movement. Simple as that. And skipping a load of cutscenes, because who needs to watch cutscenes at all? So, yeah. Hope everyone's had a brilliant time at UKSM. Apologies that the run kind of got moved. We've had loads of technical difficulties here at UKSM, but it's been an absolute blast going on. We've got it all sorted out. We're here. We're ready. Back on some Reignite. So, just to show what I did at first there was a Nestor skip. Now, in the original trilogy, you cannot skip Nestor, and actually program into this game, you still can't. However, the way to skip it is when Spyro has a downward momentum, when freeing Nestor, you press triangle, and the game will allow you to skip it. So I kind of have a feeling that Toys of Bob kind of listened to speedrunners there, knowing that that's one thing we needed to do, to skip Nestor, pretty much. So, any percent, essentially is a category where all you need to do is get through each homeworld as quick as you can and flame nasty Nork's butt as quick as you can, pretty much. The requirements to get through each homeworld, for the first homeworld, which is Artisans, is 10 dragons. I'll be freeing 11 before leaving. For Peacekeepers is 1,200 gems. I'll be aiming to get around about 13,050. Oh. Nice. That is an example of really awkward menuing there. I didn't realize at the start of it was a continue, so there we go. At least I didn't press quick game. If I press quick game, then run over, pretty much.
No world record.
Yeah, no, nothing. So Peacekeepers, it's 1,200 gems. For Magic Rafters, it's 5 eggs. For Beastmakers, it's 50 dragons. And for Dreamweavers, did I say Peacekeepers? I said, no, Beastmakers, sorry, I get them so mixed up. And for Dreamweavers, it's 6,000 gems. So, pretty much, what we've got coming up right here is probably the main trick of the category, pretty much. Because everything else from then onwards is just movement and making sure the dragon goes quick. So coming up, we free a dragon called Nils, and he has like a paintbrush, which has like a sort of sneaky little platform on it. I won't say what happens until afterwards, but I'll show you what goes on. So pretty much we'll turn this camera this way, go up here. Try and get onto this platform. Hey! That was a nice, lovely flying proxy there. Brilliant. Smashing. And there we go. There's literally the rest. That's the whole run done. I've now It's funny, I actually have on my splits, on my streams, that to be called run start, because it's quite hard for me to actually keep doing that all the time, so I'm sort of glad that I managed to get that done. Like first try, pretty much. Cool, so with that, that's pretty much Nils Ferry proxy. And what you do with that platform, if you get Spyro to like stand at a certain position, specifically his paw, I'd say, it's like top leftmost paw, you'll do a little shake and then literally that platform will just fling him up in the air. It's so fun. And what I've just done there is also a new thing with Spyro 1 where we've gone to fast travel back to the beginning of Artisans. And I'll quickly free Argus right here before leaving Artisans. Literally that's it. That's literally the first 10 minutes. Artisans for any percent is pretty much done. I don't even think that's even 10 minutes. There we go. And that's Artisans done.
Oh, achievement.
Boom! Achievement.
Achievement percent.
Achievement get.
Shout out to the achievements.
Shout out to the achievements. I don't know how many I'll be getting during this run.
We'll count them afterwards. See
Yeah.
how many we get, yeah.
And if we don't get any of this, we're going to get some for next run. Right?
Yeah.
Got any donations coming yet? Yeah, go ahead.
We've got a donation from Lightson.
Hey, Lightson says hello, guys.
He says sending lots of luck to Nost with running Spy. Kick Nasty's. There's a swear word there. I'm not going to say it.
Is it B-U-T-T?
Yes, butts, definitely butts. High fives to the couch also.
Massive high backlight. Thanks so much. So yeah, we've entered Peacekeepers. And now we've got Joy Canyon coming up here, which most of the time it's just collecting dragons and collecting gems from now on. Again, just fast-moving Drago. Also, you can get him to do these nice little like movement things during the load screens. Again, this should just be called load screen percent, I swear.
I mean, yeah, I would call my splits like
load screen percent.
Yeah.
It is a pretty fun game though. It's again absolutely beautiful. Another thing people might have noticed as well is I've turned off the motion blur for this for the game. But you'll notice that in Peacekeepers the motion blur is forced on, so please, I do apologise if people might get a little bit of motion sickness from that, hopefully. Bird Brain, another achievement gets.
Yes.
Heck yes.
All that game to score.
Oh, damn it. I don't like that jump. Don't like that jump one bit. Right, so because I've done that, I'm going to try and go back up there again. So pretty much these sorts of jumps are actually quite a difficult jump. One main mechanic in Reignited is basically to do a charge jump where you charge right towards the very end of the platform.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
First try.
Yeah, it just says first try.
First try.
And there we go. And pretty much with that jump, you make sure you do that charge jump, get that full momentum at the very top of the jump, make sure to glide in, and sometimes if he's just about to clip that wall, he'll do a little flutter, which is again a new thing that they brought into Reignited. You'll be seeing me do a few of those, and later on in the run, they actually get a lot harder. Shout outs to in the original trilogy, that in the original Spyro 1 there was a similar sort of trick called the charge glide. Sadly we don't have the charge glide in Reignited, which is such a shame because it is such a really neat trick. It really makes movement nice, crisp and fast, but as a sort of replacement, it's a very easier thing to learn. So again, shout out to Toys for Bob for making that a very nice, easy trick to get used to and for practicing. So here we are. We're coming up to Cliff Town. Cliff Town's got a bit of a similar predicament going around this first building, where I have to do a little bit of a charge jump up and around it. There we go. Right, so now Cliff Town's interesting because this is the first level, I'd say, where tricks kind of come out a little bit. Right, I'm failing this one. There we go.
You didn't get away.
Right, yeah, so sadly I didn't get an animation skip there, but pretty much with the thieves, that was the first thief we got in the run so far. And with the thieves, again, you would only need to get 5 during this whole run. But what you do for the thieves is when they are just about to move, if Spyro is jumping just as you flame him, you can skip their animation. That's also a nice jump done there. I struggle with that sometimes. Yeah, I struggle with that sometimes. I completely forgot that chest there, but not a problem. So yeah, with Cliff Town there was 3 tricks there. There was a little trick to do again, another charge jump to get onto those top chests, go down, flame the firework from that bottom section without gliding down to it, and then going over to the thief. Hopefully a little bit later I can try and, what we say, snipe that thief as quick as we can. We've got another thief coming up in a little bit. I believe after Cliff Town we have our first flight level of the game. And to anyone who's wishing to learn speedrunning Spyro, Reignited, or even the originals, I would highly recommend start learning the flight levels, purely because they are very consistent throughout most of the run categories. All of the routes are very, very similar. For any percent and 120 in Reignited, again, flight routes are the same in the original, in in all the categories in that, in any percent, 120, 80 dragons, chargeless, you name it, it's a similar sort of route for that. So now with the flight mechanics are, I'll admit, in Reignited they are a little bit more difficult than in the original. However, some things have kept the same. For example, going down will make Spyro go a little bit faster. So make sure to fly low and try not to touch the water. Another thing that's a little bit different is that there is also shrapnel hitboxes with the arches, which sometimes you can actually get a little bit of a momentum push from them. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. But in my opinion, if you want a nice smooth run that doesn't, ruin the run in a way, or you don't want anything that kind of ruins it. Oh. That was a bit awkward there. That was a little bit awkward.
Would you say these flight levels would probably be the difficult part of the run? Because these are very close timed levels, so if you mess up, I know I have difficulty with them in a casual run.
Yeah,
in a speed run.
Yeah, flight levels are a bit challenging, I'd say, but they are quite good to practice first. That's why I say if you want to practice and learn Reignited, get them down first, get the route down, get a nice feel of the mechanics. Reignited is more difficult than the original.
Yeah.
There's also another thing as well with flight levels where if you charge or bonk on items, you can actually get Spyro to sharply turn, which is a thing that wasn't in the original. For some reason, I think bonking in this game sort of helps you more than anything, which is quite a surprise, because in the original, it's one thing you don't want to do. There we go, that's a nice animation skip there. Got a little bit of a damage abuse there, but saved myself from gliding, pretty much.
I just remember the speedways from Spyro 2 being really, really notorious.
Yeah. Now with Spyro 2 and 3, the flight levels, the speedways as they're called, are a little bit different. And the main reason for those is because when you charge, there are actually certain platforms that allow you to charge and hold a supercharge. In the first game, you do not have supercharge within flights. They're literally, again, as they are, they're flights. So here we are up to our first boss level of any percent. This is Dr. Shemp. Sadly, though, we are not actually going to be visiting Dr. Shemp and getting his, behind. Purely because, well, we don't need his gems. Easy as that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get all these big mamas all the way around here. That is what they are called, by the way. Silly as it sounds. Get these gems here, fly down here, get that chest and free Trondo. That gem didn't home. Thank you, Sparks, for being an absolute tool. And now we can carry on, pretty much. So yeah, that was Shemp. Sadly, again, we don't face the boss. However, our next boss, which will be Blowhard in Dreamweaver, it's not Dreamweavers, what am I about? Magic Crafters, we do face because he's got a nice gem count, which is good to get. So now coming out of Shemp, we go over to my favourite level in the game. Bit debatable for some people, but this is sort of my favourite level.
I quite like this level, the stage tonight.
Ice Cavern.
I never played any original games, so when I got my hands on this for the first time, it was a brand new experience for me, so this was definitely one that I really liked.
Hey? I heard a Spyro from the back. What did I hear?
Spyro?
What? What? I'm hearing things again. Nost casually losing his mind. So yeah, here's Ice Cavern. Now, Ice Cavern is a nice level. Again, I think it's really pretty because out of a whole level about, a whole homeworld about desert environments, you've got like a very cold ice level, which in a way is sort of right because it is all about desolation in a way. So you kind of are in a bit of a cold, chill environment. Very cool aesthetics.
I mean, there seems to be a running theme with like worlds and everything. When you have like a desert themed world, there's always that one that is not meant to be there, and it's the ice. It's like, why are you here? It's like, you're not desert themed at all.
Yeah.
But
So if you also notice as well, with some of these Norks that I'll get, I will flame and then charge to and then jump to get them. Pretty much that's because their gems kind of don't drop fast enough, so the best thing you're going to do is literally just catch them. Right, here comes some magic stairs. Come on, full magic stairs. Close enough.
Yeah,
close enough. Yeah. That's also quite a hard trick to get sometimes, so there we go. Right, come on, Nork, go to the left. Thank you, Nork. Let's carry on. There we go. And that's Ice Cavern done. Haven't got much left to get now. It's just Magnus, a few gems, and then that's the entire Peacekeepers.
so obviously you have the gem requirement now. What is it that you need?
Yes, it's 1,000. Yes. So I pretty much 1,200 gems to leave Peacekeepers, and I'm 150 gems comfortably above that. Now, my main focus would be eggs and dragons, pretty much.
Yeah, because you got to get to 50 dragons. You're almost halfway there.
Yeah.
Well, now halfway there. But you've still got to get like what, another 10 or something. So already as well, we have 2 eggs because we collected one from Clifftown and we've collected one from within the Peacekeepers' homeworld. Now we have. The game now basically guides you to collect more eggs. So you will basically naturally find within the Magic Crafters worlds that there will be 5 eggs laying around. But basically, again, because this is a speed run, you want to go for the ones which are the most, quickest to get. So basically, we've got a thief that's literally right at the beginning of Magic Crafters, which again, I'm going to try and get in and snipe him. If I don't, not a problem. I'll probably just leave him, and there's a backup thief later on in the game. So I'll go get him. So can I try and get him? There he is. Hey, got his egg. Nice.
So out of like the 5 worlds in Spyro, which one would you turn and say is your like aesthetically most pleasing? Like I turn and say this one.
Well, home worlds.
Yeah, like the home worlds.
Now, I'll admit, in Reignited, they made Beastmakers look amazing. I think the home worlds definitely Beastmakers. I think in this game is amazing.
Oh yeah. No,
in the original,
about that one now.
yeah, in the original, it was quite, again, to look at, it was quite murky, getting very dark in palette color. But in this one, you can clearly see it's like very night, very
It's got,
dusk.
like the lighting effects and all that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm always a big fan of like jungly themes.
Yeah, jungles and swamps.
Themes,
Yeah.
home worlds and stuff like that.
So here we come up to Alpine Ridge. Alpine Ridge kind of shows the first example of where timing is sort of crucial, because we've got a few cycles coming up that if we can kind of time it correctly, I won't be able to get hit by anything, hopefully. Or I won't have to accidentally bonk into anything. So for example, these stairs here, they should be down, and then just jump up like that. Ah, that's the first lot of stairs. Right, actually, I think I'll explain a little bit more about that in the 120 tutorial tomorrow. Make sure to tune into that. I'll go a little bit step to step with how the mechanics of the game works. Right, another one is technically there. I've just missed it. Yeah, I think even the top runners for any percent kind of don't get it sometimes.
That seems like a really tight frame.
Yeah.
Like,
another one is here. Thankfully, I made this one. If I miss his one, thankfully I can get a few more gems. Because the good thing with any percent is you can sort of compensate with time with gems sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there's a level later on in the game. Again, the last requirement to do any percent before basically getting nasty is essentially getting 6,000 gems. Oh, that gem's glitching into the floor. Thank you very much, gem. And that guy just fell right off the end. Right, sadly I'm a little bit under the amount of gems I wanted to get in this world, but that's mainly because of that 5 gem. Thanks, game. Again, this game's still fairly new, so like there are a few things I can't really determine. So I'm going to make up for that 5 gem there.
So obviously with exiting the level and everything, you can do that at any point, so you don't have to go all the way back to get to.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, there are vortexes within the home worlds, which are essentially one-way passages to get out of the level easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, the quicker way to do it is to essentially click on start, exit level, and press yes. Now, within Reignited Trilogy, because obviously it's a more modern game, with modern games you've got 2. Right, here comes another thief, by the way.
Hey,
Sweet.
nice.
I also got Sparks there because I kind of need him back for this next world. So yeah, within Reignited Trilogy, you've got 2 sets of timers. You've got in-game timer and you've got a real timer. The real timer you should be seeing on your screen right now over on the stream. The in-game timer, sadly, I won't be able to check until pretty much when the run's done. And that will basically be able to judge your main 2 times. The leaderboard is basically determined by in-game time, which is what you'll find at the end of the game, and real time is essentially all determined by what console you play on. The AST, as you see, is about 1 hour 10. Hopefully I can do it for you all within about an hour.
We've got another donation, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's, we've got 2. My bad, we've got 2.
Go ahead.
One is from Pockets Uke.
Hey, it's my mate Pockets.
They say, good luck, my boy, Nost. Then we've got another one from Lightson. Another £10. They say, here's another £10 for Nost to attempt the Dreamweaver's charge jump at least once.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yep. Oh, that was close there. I thought I was going to miss that cycle. Thank you so much, Pockets and Lightson. You two are legends. Big shout outs to them too. Lightson's also Spyro speedrunner, brilliant animator over on YouTube. And Pockets is my man from Scotland. He is a brilliant musician, also on YouTube.
Also likes to speedrun Super Mario 64, I believe. So yeah, and that was High Caves. Now, I didn't actually explain this, but I think that was the first level that introduced the supercharge mechanic. Now, there are two things within supercharges where you can sort of, in Reignited, you can kind of abuse the momentum of supercharge and the rank that it has. So the rank of supercharge essentially determines how much you accelerate until you get to essentially like your terminal velocity in a way, or like your top speed. I'll try and do a little bit more momentum manipulation now. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, that wasn't what I wanted, but it was close enough. So pretty much what you can do is if you see if you can get Spyro to tap a wall or like a hitbox of some sort, he will essentially lose all his momentum and go really, really slow. But you can maintain a really high supercharge rank, so he will begin to go a lot faster, a lot quicker, pretty much. And this is actually a trick that's required, what I'll try in a little moment within Wizard Peak. And again, it's a trick I actually still struggle today. Oof! Big oof. Don't want that happening again.
I mean, that's the first time you've been hit this run, so...
I've been hit a few times in the run, sadly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's not a problem. We've got our first death abuse coming up in a moment.
Shout outs to death warping in speed games.
Yeah, shouts to all the death warping in speed games. Right, here is our final thief at the back of here. Why am I flaming that chest? Achievement get.
So we got 3 now, we got 3.
Yeah, I'll have to probably try and chase all the other achievements in tomorrow's tutorial.
Can you get all of them in the 20%? Like...
Not entirely sure. I can't remember actually. Right, so here we go. Let's see if I can try and do this. This is a really hard trick. No. Pretty much the aim of that trick is to hold supercharge all the way up here, and it is possible to do. The top runs can do it. Sadly though, again, it's not hard to quickly do. Right. I don't need you, thief. I've got all my 5 gems. Eggs, sorry. There we go. So now we're coming up to our second flight level, which is Crystal Flight. But yeah, with the, you'll see more of how the supercharge mechanic can also be abused later in a level called Treetops. Treetops, you've basically got 2 main supercharges like to get to the really far spots. We like to call them the troublesome 2 because basically they're a pain to nail down in practice. And then you've also got a little trick which I sometimes can get wrong, but it's not the end of the world if you don't, because you'll have the key by the time. But you can basically use the supercharge to destroy a key chest. Right, and here we go, first crystal flight. Woo! Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good time in Insomnia. It's been a brilliant weekend. I needed to charge there purely because I was not able to turn down at the right angle. Spyro would just go right over that hoop.
These flight levels just going to be so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Because it's like in a casual run, if you mess this up and you're trying to do it normally, you kind of like it's over.
Yeah, and actually,
enough time to get there.
One of the flights is notorious for that. Wild Flight, as we'll see, which is the flight after this one. You basically fly really close to the water, and one touch of the water pretty much makes you lose. Like, if you wanted to redo the flight level, you will automatically lose like 20 seconds, both in-game and real time, which is pretty crucial for a run.
Yeah.
Pretty crucial. But yeah, so far though, I haven't had any major deaths. I don't want to say that too soon before I jinx it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. We've got Blowhard next. I want to make sure I can do that one quick because I know sometimes I can miss the... Again, Blowhard's another level where cycles is key. Sometimes if the cycles are really, really helpful, I can actually get a best segment in it.
So really quickly now, I saw that you came out of the world and you hit the dragon without actually...
Yes.
Planned, or?
No, that's actually a thing because what you do is you fly into it and you do touch it. Now, in the original games, shout outs to a trick known as Dragon Skip. Now, basically, in the original, there was a thing that if you basically enter the portal to Crystal Flight from the back at a certain angle and jump in, the camera will move in, but Spyro will continue to jump to the point where you will free the dragon while also entering the next level. So when you exit, you pretty much have freed the dragon already, which also is not banned, that's allowed.
Yeah.
And again, speedrunners within like the top 100 and obviously skill ones. Oof. Those wizards are a pain, by the way. They are unpredictable and a nuisance. Right, here it goes, Blowhard, and let's see if I can get these cycles done nicely. Okay, not brilliant, but it's all right. Got another cycle coming up here, which hopefully can go rather nicely. Oh, I kind of want that gem. Yeah, that's actually a nice cycle. Oh. Oof! Rip. Well, there goes another 20 seconds. What's up? Boo, yeah, boo. Boo low screens. Here we go, you've got these guys becoming ninjas now, look at them. I'm sort of hoping this game just kind of, you know, not saying if it will get ported or anything, but I wonder how it will run if it was on PC, pretty much.
At the moment this is console only, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's console, it's only in 30 FPS, pretty much.
It'd be nice to get that like 120 FPS.
Yeah, get a nice 60 FPS, be nice. It's a bit hot here, isn't it? Nah. I am the one wearing the woolly hat here, so dearie me. Right, I'm not massively on the gem count. It just means that in my final level, I'm going to make sure to have to collect a lot of gems, pretty much. And there we are. That is Dreamweaver's, not Dreamweaver's, Magic Craft is done. Why do I get them too confused? So yeah, and again, requirement for that was 5 eggs. Now, as we're entering Beastmakers, we now have to get 50 dragons. I believe we have now edged over to about 40 dragons at this point. Siddiqui? I think it's Siddiqui. It's the purple dragon that's in Metalhead. He's your final dragon to get. Siddiqui, yeah.
Playing Sudoku.
Probably. Siddiqui playing Sudoku. Fits. You get a few quite bizarre named dragons in this game, I'll be fair, but sadly, the Dreamweavers ones who have the most bizarre of names in any percent kind of get shafted. But we'll get to see him tomorrow in 120. So Terrace Village is also another level that's also a bit dependent on cycles, because you've got these electric floor pads, and if you time it correctly, you can basically avoid getting touched by them. And another thing that's different between any percent in Reignited compared to the original, in the original, you technically don't need to even do this level, because it's faster just to get another dragon along the way.
So what's the point of doing this level then? Like,
what's the point of doing it in this one? Yeah. Purely because I believe there's a closer gem count, and because of how mechanics of the charging is a lot more tighter, and that you can basically, the cycles and it's a lot different, you can kind of get across it rather quick, yeah. in game wise, that is. There's a nice jump there. But again, I've only been running this game for 5 months, and this game's only come out for like, what is it, nearly over half a year now.
Something like that. I think November 13th.
Yeah, around
So,
that.
yeah,
They got delayed. It got delayed as well.
Yeah, it was meant to come out in September, and then it was moved to November 13th.
Yep.
So.
Oof. See, I got a bit zapped there, but now if I can time it correctly, I can try and not get hit by the next two. There we go. I'll be honest to the stream, I have not actually completed Spyro 3 yet. And yeah, I'm already speedrunning Spyro 1.
I haven't even played through Spyro 3, so it's probably a little bit worse.
I think I'm at Morning Garden on Spyro 3, my casual playthrough for it. Cool, and that is Beastmakers. So yeah, I got zapped once, but thankfully I didn't lose sparks there. It's most crucial not to lose sparks, because the best thing to do, I'd say, coming out of here, is to have a yellow sparks. The reason why I'll be doing in just a short moment, because there will be some firework chests that line up close to each other, and pretty much when Spyro gets hit, he'll have like a very short amount of immunity, which if you can time it correctly, you can basically allow Spyro to not get hit by the second fireworks chest that we've got here. So if I flame this one and time it, charge, and he doesn't get hit by the first blast.
So you won't get like a double hit from it?
Yeah, you don't get a double hit from it. Oh, he dropped this gem. Thank you, Bort. Nice bonk. A lot of these routes as well were fundamentally basically moved over from the original, thankfully. So, and you have got a few runners from the originals. Again, shout outs to Chris LBC, to UKSM, and if I said that name right. Try to think who else has run it. Definitely loads more. Breckerman's run it. Piper's run it. Load of runners from the original have also kind of moved over to this game as well. But I admit there are a few things about this game which just ain't the same as the original. But again, each to their own.
No remaster is always the same.
Yeah, we're never going to expect it to be the same, really. So yeah, this is Wild Flight. Now, Wild Flight is the quickest flight in the game, thankfully. But again, there's a high risk factor in you're flying very low. You do not want to touch any of the water. If you touch that, you have to you can either restart run or restart flight, which would take you like about from this point at least 30 seconds to try and recover from. Do you know, I even had a few of my friends from the original laugh at me that I'm actually doing the quickest route for Wild Flight now, but back when I did the original, when I used to speedrun the original, I never used to do this route, purely because I was so anxious. I couldn't do it. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm gonna fail at this point.
I mean, it's like I tried playing that, and I think on my first run it took me like 15 or something attempts. But I mean, that's always because my time was so low. You got your timer up to like nearly almost like a minute. I don't know.
I'm trying to actually. That's another thing as well. When also learning flights, there is actually a really big scene for IL flights, like for speed running the ILs. So if you're really, really keen in learning to speed run the flights, and you like it so much that you want to actually speed run those, try and get as fast as you can, there is a leaderboard for it. And yeah, I've got a few friends on that who also run some of those. Again, shout out to Sable Dragon Rook. She's a 80% and my fellow 80 Dragons rival, but she also does a lot of the ILs for that. So here we are at the most notorious level for a casual player and for a speedrunner. It's Misty Bog. Equally as evil, but thankfully in any percent, it's not actually too bad. It's a lot worse than 120. Again, I'll show you all that tomorrow, purely because of the notorious Guantanamo Bay. But again, it's the enemies that really make it for Misty Bog, really, because they're quite difficult. I'll be honest, in Reignited they are sort of nerfed, because I'd say the wizards in Blowhard are a lot harder in a way. but it's definitely the frogs. It's definitely the frogs which are sort of the challenge in Misty Bog. They're always still the challenge. Oh yeah, the trees as well. Don't forget the trees. Yo.
Yeah, we've got another donation whenever you're ready.
Go on, go ahead.
KG Spurs.
Shout outs to my brother.
Oh,
That is my brother, by the way.
your brother donates £5.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Go on, Nost. Doing well, bro.
Yeah. Sadly, my brother doesn't do any speed runs. However, he's told me he would love to do a speed run to driving to McDonald's. That would be something quite fitting. I will have to time him for. See if we can get a speedrun.com leaderboard for that. Hey, Big Mac percent, bro. Get on that Big Mac percent.
We could do everything with Big Mac percent.
Yeah.
100% buy the whole entire menu.
Yeah.
See how fast you can buy it,
Yeah.
eat it, and get back home.
I love it because it's going to be one of those things where it's like, you know, when consoles can determine load times, in a Big Mac percent, it will all be dependent on where you live and which is the closest, like, I don't know.
And where are you in the queue?
Yeah, restaurant you're going to, pretty much. Right, so here we are coming up is Treetops. Now, Treetops has the two big supercharges, which, thankfully, we can do them quickly now. With the first, we call them the Troublesome 2, and the reason why we do it is because we sort of cheese them. Again, in speedrunning, if there's a way of cheesing it to do it fast, we cheese it, right? However, the second one to get to the top section sort of was, I wouldn't say inspired by, but in the original there was a really difficult trick to kind of clip up, which was found by a speedrunner called Stoneknot, I believe. So it's sort of, again, shout out to the homage of the Stoneknot.
Would you say the speedruns in this are probably really, really difficult for like new players? Because I mean, my first time going through this, I was stuck on this stage for like 50 minutes trying to figure out how to 100% it.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out until like I looked up a video of it and was like, oh, right, okay, we do it like this.
And there we go. Literally just that quick, you can get to that. Now you can all show your friends.
Because that one you'll have to go through the whole entire level or something to build up enough speed or take the right path.
Yeah, pretty much. The game wants you to take a whole track and then go around the whole level and back. But again, we pretty much just cheesed it.
We're speedrunners, that's too slow.
Yeah.
We go fast.
Right, here's another thing we're going to try and cheese. If we can do it. Break the key chest. Yes! So as you can see, I've got this key here at the bottom right of the screen. Now I don't need it, because I've literally just destroyed the thing that it was meant to unlock.
So if you grab the key and everything and then you do the supercharge, it will break without doing the animation of the key.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you don't have the key, you can't break the chest.
Yeah. Well, no, you can still break the chest if you don't have the key, sorry. But it's just, the key is basically on the way, so why not just get it?
Like a backup.
Yeah,
So
why not?
If you don't get it, then...
Why not just get it, you know?
Yeah.
Right, here comes second jump. Oof! Oof! Right, no, let's recover that. I'm not dying because of that. I'm staying determined. Second time. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, to get up here, you need to go all the way around.
Yeah, that was another one of those things where you have to go around the whole level pretty much. As you can see there, I've also got sparks to pick up a blue butterfly. Now, that is sort of new, sort of not new, in the sense that in the original Trilogy, well, actually, no, in the original Spyro 1, when you flame fodder, you don't get a blue butterfly. However, if you killed enough enemies, you can get, I think it's like 10 enemies, you basically can get a 1-up. However, in Reignited, because they kind of want to keep, you know, all three of them sort of similar mechanically wise, you can get a blue butterfly. And blue butterflies, sorry if my accent gets in the way there, but good old West Country, you know. Blue butterflies essentially, again, allows sparks to be fully healed and gives you a 1-up, pretty much. And sometimes a game, just if you're lucky, it just gives you that. I don't know whether that's also a matter of 10. It could be 10 fodder, or it can just be an RNG thing. Again, thankfully, most of the RNG things about this is pretty much how the fodder walk, pretty much, I think. Now, Metalhead's an interesting sort of level because it's very high in gem collection. However, there's a few things about it which sometimes you can get, it shows, sometimes you can get Metalhead to do some of the most weirdest things if a certain condition happens. Same with the enemies.
So I'm guessing this level is crucial for the right 6 days, and with gems you need 6,000 in order to beat the game. But
Yeah, from this point I'd be aiming for around about 5,000 gems to leave, 5,000 to 5,100, around that to leave beast makers. I'm most likely going to be under gemmed, but we'll see. So there we go, that's Siddiqui, that should be... Okay, right, okay, so I said that was meant to be the last dragon. It was meant to be, I actually forgot one. I actually know which one I forgot, thankfully. He's in the home world. But pretty much what you're meant to do, is as soon as you leave Terrace Village, you actually fly not to the left where I showed you the chest, you actually meant to fly to the right and free Bruno. Sadly, I completely glossed over Bruno. I do that on the odd occasion. He's not as worse as Siddiqui though, sadly, not Siddiqui, Zikomo. Zikomo, in 80 Dragons you can completely forget because sometimes 80 Dragons is kind of an in-between of any percent and 120. It's like any percent plus in a way. It's essentially a meme category, you could call it. It's your miscellaneous category. But I think it's good competition if you like to sort of, you know, want a little bit of an extra challenge, pretty much. Again, it's a good rivalry as well that I have with Sable Dragon Rook with that specific level, with that specific run, pretty much. There we go. I will go back and quickly run for Bruno. I'm trying to think what's the quickest way to get there from here. I think I'm going to have to go back to him and then try and run all the long way back. Right, so thankfully I will be leaving Beastmakers with 5,000. About just 6 gems under. There are still some gems to collect, pretty much. Right, I'm going to run in this direction purely because I'm going to do something a little bit naughty here. Okay, I should have really gone round the temple, but not a problem. Right, so this is the 50th dragon. I did forget him. Apologies, everyone. But now we'll head on back. If we can, we'll try and see if we can pick up some gems along the way, if there are any. There's 3 gems there. I might as well just get those. Right, and now I'm going to continue on from where I pretty much left from. I'm going to go from here. So basically, I'm going to snipe that Nork there with that fan chest. Come up these stairs with the nice little bonk manipulation there. I love that trick so much. Yeah, not even touching it. Poor Spyro. Poor Spyro. I bet his horns are probably need a bit of reinforcement now.
Probably got a headache.
Yeah, bless him. It gets even worse in 120.
Oh no. I'll make sure to bring my ibuprofen for tomorrow.
Yeah. Now sadly that whirlwind's in the way. I don't really care about that whirlwind. I want to go do this. There we go. There we go, into Dreamweavers. Now Dreamweavers is actually another short homeworld because all we need now is 6,000 gems and we're pretty much on a good track into it. All we need to do now is collect some gems in Dreamweavers, collect some gems in Icy Fly and then in Jacques. Jacques is pretty much like a compensation level Essentially, whatever gems you have left, you make sure you have it like 500. You get them all in Jack. But on a good run, you want to make sure you have at least 350 to about 320 left. That's sort of like an optimal route. The less gems you have, or the less gems you need entering Jack, obviously, the better. Yeah, Jack towards the end has 175 gem count. So if you even get to 175 left, you literally just need to do the boss and you're done, pretty much. Right, so here we go. This is what I would say is the hardest jump of the run. Here we go. This is what Lyson had set him for. Oof! It's at least one try, okay? At least one try. That is the hardest jump. It can be done. I probably will try it again tomorrow because you can do it in 120 as well. But for the run's sake, I'll just carry on up the whirlwind. Why not? Just to apologise if you think my voice sounds a little bit rusty. I was singing a little bit on Rock Band a little bit earlier. Reku here was doing... he's absolutely immense on guitar, by the way, for Rock Band. You do some Rock Band streams as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stream occasionally whenever I get a chance to.
Okay, thank you, guys. Come on. Go ahead.
New donation. Yeah.
Yep.
Yimoi.
Emai. That's Emai. Yep.
Good luck on the speedrun, Nost. This weekend's Splatfest has been great, but I hope your speedruns will be even better.
Hey, thanks, Emai. Speaking of Splatoon, actually, I think they've got a lot of Splatoon thing going on at Nintendo. So Emai, they definitely got you in mind there. Right, so now this is where I would do a little bit of maths. Oh, maths.
No, not maths, please.
Not maths. So pretty much, I'm at 303 gems. You get 300 gems in Icy Flight. You get 15 before entering Jack. So I'll be aiming to be around about 5,618 gems entering Jack. And then, if you can do your maths, what's 6,000 minus 5,718?
I would take part in this.
Yeah,
but
don't worry. I'll allow the chat to do that, and they'll probably be moaning at me right now, saying, "Ugh, maths.
Why?
Ugh, maths in a speed run."
I came here to play game fast.
Yeah, I'm here to play game fast, not to do mental mathematics. Hearing me. But pretty much, I have a feeling it's around about 380 gems, which sadly means I'm gonna have to do a bit of an extended route. But not a problem. Just shows basically the worst case scenario if you wanted to do, the speed run for Jack, pretty much. Fly like an eagle. Achievement get. That's probably one of the fastest time I've got an Icy Flight there. Sweet.
IL World Record live.
IL World Record live.
6:03.
Kappa, PogChamp. Right, so here's the last 15 gems coming along here.
So how many levels do you think we have left? Would you say we have left then of the run?
Right, so pretty much this is our last level where you have pretty much a requirement.
Okay.
Like so pretty much all we need now is 382 gems. That's correct maths. Yep. So we only need 382 gems to leave Dreamweavers, and then from then onwards it's get as fast as we can to Nasty North, pretty much.
Yeah, because for Nasty's not World, you have to go through the wall.
You have to go through the 2 levels, yeah. And I'll basically talk about them along the way. Right. Right, one cycle cake. We like to call this the cake, by the way, because it looks like a wedding cake. One cycle it pretty much means you be able to go across it and get the things like the key chest, the key for the key chest, without it going down. So that was a nice little one cycle cake there. Right, I have a feeling I'm going to be on gem count. So that's a 25, a few 5s, and now it's just the boss left. So if my maths is correct, 217 plus 175 is greater than 382. So we are going to be leaving Dreamweavers after this level.
I'm waiting for the gem count to say 5999.
If it's just one more, then thankfully there's actually a 1 gem just outside. So I wouldn't get gypped there, thankfully. And there we go. Yeah, 392. I'm 10 gems over, thankfully. So yeah, so from now on, when we leave, I think his name's Amos. It's Roger Craigsmith's the voice actor. So shout out to all our Sonic runners this weekend, as we had several Sonic runs. The voice actor, the voice actor is coming up. I know we can't hear the game, sadly. Is actually the current voice actor for Sonic the Hedgehog. So shout outs to Roger Craigsmith and all you Sonic speed runners this weekend. So yeah, so now our main aim is pretty much get through to the bosses as fast as we can. Our first requirement pretty much is to open the dragon mouth to Twilight Harbor, and to do that you need to free Delbin, which would be the dragon we're going to free just now, and you're meant to enter the vortex and go exit the level of North Cove pretty much. You don't need to collect any gems, you don't need to collect any dragons other than Delbin, and that's it.
New donation.
Hey.
From Mama Spider.
Hey, Mama.
Keep up the awesome work, Nost. Much love from Spooder Mum.
Yo, thanks for the donation, Mama Spider.
£10 donation.
Hey.
Oh, and another £10 from Lightson.
Hey, Light.
Last good luck. Let's hope the final boss is skip leg day. P.S. Karen says good luck too.
Hey. Thanks for your support, everyone. You've been amazing. All the donations are going to be going towards Special Effect, which is the charity that will aid disabled people through the help of video games. And again, I've got a few friends of mine who are pretty much they use video games and obviously are disabled, and it's their main form of entertainment and it improves their quality of life massively. So again, thank you all so much for your support, and hopefully love to get more support tomorrow as well. Hey, nice. That's a little bit of manipulation there. Sadly, this one thing that the current speedrunning community for Reignited are trying to do is find a cove skip, because in the original there was this really awesome trick called Rat-tastic. Awesome. That's called TN Teamwork. I like calling it Barrel Buddies, but what you do is there's basically a Nork near the beginning of the level which he can allow you to proxy off of his barrel, literally like throw Spyro in the air, and then you can glide straight to the vortex. It's really funny. Now, Twilight Harbor has a very similar requirement, open nasty Nork's Head, which is pretty much you go through the vortex in Twilight Harbor. I'm now also going to do a little trick which requires me to sort of temporarily lose sparks, and if I can get it well, I won't get killed by the Nork, hopefully. I've only recently just learnt this trick, and it's been helping me loads in runs. It's been saving me brilliant time, so let's try and see if we can do this. There we go. Sweet! That was it. That's probably the quickest I've done it. Right, so sadly we have to get Cletus here as well because we are now going to do probably one of the best things I love in this run. It's just supercharged to the very end. This is like so satisfying. Boom.
Having a mid speed within a speed run, most satisfying thing.
And here we are now at the last leg of the run. We're going to be coming up to Nasty Nork. Yeah, pretty much you're going to have two thieves you're going to quickly snipe to get their key. And then once you get their keys, you then have to start chasing Nasty Nork. Sadly, in Reignited Trilogy, he has not skipped leg day. He actually is pretty quick in Reignited. In the original, he was quite slow. You can, in 120, you can one cycle him easy. In 120 tomorrow, as I'll show, it's not easy to cycle pretty much. I'll give you a heads up for time, alright?
One more donation first.
Yep, go ahead.
£5 from Jojo.
Hey, Jojo!
They say peas.
As you do. As you do, man. He's mad about his peas, by the way, folks. Shout out to Jojo. There we go. There's two snipes. Right, so Nasty's he's a bit faster in this game, but again, he's nothing to Spyro because I don't need to collect anything. All I care about right now is to get my flame right onto those. Actually, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to flame right to his buttocks, pretty much. I needed to save that, dearie me. Sorry about that.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would have been a bit odd, wouldn't it? Right, so that's that bit. Now, time is coming up when I flame Nasty, this time coming up, okay? Right, prepare yourself. Time.
Nice.
Brilliant. So, you have the cutscene coming on here. You can easily skip it. Skip the credits, thankfully. That's all. There's also a little joke in the original games where sometimes it's hard to skip the credits. And in a normal run, what you would do then is you then press the guidebook button, which is that one there, when this load screen's done, and it will basically show your final in-game time. I'm hoping 31:30. I'm happy with that. I'm proud of that. How's the real time?
1 hour 46 seconds.
Whoa! 1 hour 46. That's 46 away from sub 1 hour. But I'm happy with that. Brilliant. That's the Spyro 80% run done. Thank you for watching, everyone. My name is Nost. My channel is over at Nost TW. I mainly speedrun Spyro Reignited, as you know. And yeah, and also I'll probably be doing a lot more artsy stuff. So I'll do a bit of drawing. And I'm hoping to try and learn some more speedruns soon and probably get back to this as quick as I can. May even chase a world record. And again, thank you, Reiku, for being in the chat. Thank you, Couch. Thank you, audience. And thank you for watching. And again, thank you to you two lovely people as well. All right.
Well, thank you for doing the run. Let's quickly switch to an intermission. We're going to be getting ready to play some Blaster Master Zero with Turkey.